In this video, we're going to discuss the arcade mode. So I've made kind of a silly little arcade game here where I've got to collect the gems and jump over the obstacles. There's the gems, you can see it kind of collecting the gems up there at the top. Pretty easy game. I didn't really try that hard to make a challenging game for myself, but you get the idea. But arcade mode is doing only part of the job here, and I wanted to discuss arcade mode in and of itself, but I'll explain sort of how I've set all this up, just in case you're interested. So arcade mode propels you forward. That's the job of arcade mode. And I had a number of other things going on here. I had the collection count for the items that I'm collecting, which we've discussed in a previous video, and I had sliders moving back and forth, again, all covered in a previous video. The focus of today's video is arcade mode. Now, arcade mode is moving me forward on the Z-axis. Now, remember, the Z-axis is that blue axis here, so it's propelling me forward down the tunnel. The X movement, that's the red arrow, is allowing me to move left or right to a certain range. So I can go as far as 300 degrees, or 300 units, I should say, in either the left or right direction. The horizontal view limit is going to be how far can I look left to right. The vertical view limit is how far can I look up and down. And then you have a number of checkboxes here for allowing or hiding things. So you can allow the player to run forward. You can allow the player to jump, which in my case was necessary. You can allow them to go in reverse. Sometimes that would be useful. You also have hide weapon fire, or use crosshair. Now these three would be for different styles of games. And that's kind of the important takeaway from arcade mode. Here I've made this silly little kind of arcade game where I'm going down a tunnel and I'm collecting gems. But you need to think outside the box for this one because it has a number of versatile uses. You could also use it to make, say, a space shooter game. Let's suppose you had, a HUD for the spaceship, and you had, crosshair in front of you, and there's spaceships being spawned and you're having to blow those up. That's one example of that. Another idea might be like a rail shooter. You've seen like Virtua Cop, one of the old style arcade games where you're kind of moving around and you're shooting enemies as the game is propelling you forward. That's one option. Or even just a simple cutscene. You want to make a cutscene and you need it to propel you forward. You don't have to press the keyboard controls to move forward as things are happening around you. You could use something like a people mover. Yeah, have you ever been to an airport and there's that little walkway that people insist on like standing or walking on, and it kind of propels you forward? Use something as simple as that just for a little bit of detail in your scene. So there's a lot of options, a lot of versatility. Think through what else you could do with this. I'd love to see somebody make an arcade game using this. Like I said, it's in and of itself, it's not a whole game, but it's certainly a good portion of it. And then you can add to it other behaviors to flesh out the game and make it more unique. And in something like this, you wouldn't need to make a full tunnel. Like here, what I've done is there's a path. I didn't go all the way down here, but there's a path here. So you can go left, you can go right, but you have to make a choice quickly, right? And so let's suppose we go down this path, and then it takes you down. There's more of the same kind of stuff, more challenges, maybe obstacles, jumps, things like that. But if you had the tunnel set up, then you could have, like I say, a teleport. It teleports you either back to the beginning or back to a different tunnel, and you can have a whole bunch of tunnels, right? And the series of tunnels would represent, say, the first level. And if you get to the end of that series, then you go into the next level and so on. So lots of cool opportunities for this one if you think it through. Love to hear your thoughts on it, your ideas on what you might use this for. If you enjoyed the video or if you learned anything new, please be sure to click the like button down below. If you're new here or if you just haven't subscribed yet, would love to have you stick around. And lastly, if you'd like a notification for whenever a new video is posted, just click the bell icon and that'll let you know when a new video is ready. Thanks so much for watching all the way through. I always appreciate that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Hey, don't forget there's a written guide for every behavior, including ones I haven't yet covered on this channel. And if you want to learn some more, why don't you check out this video next.